Hello everybody and welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. So it is a beautiful day. July is clearly a wonderful month. In most places it would appear. But we do have the harvest to finish. We've got the straw to bale over there and we've got this field to thresh. We're going to be coming onto that in just a minute. But before we do, I've just had the notification flash up saying that the Massey Ferguson 9S is in sale. And this is really frustrating because I wanted the 9S in the previous episode, but I bought the voucher because I didn't think the 9S was going to pop up. And it has done. So, there's a few things that we can do. We can ignore it and pretend it never came up, or we could actually replace the 7S with the 9S. And I was looking into seeing if that was a good idea, and I've come to the conclusion that it is, because this tractor has 18.6 hours on it. So it's not really that used at all. In fact, it is just basically X-demo with those sort of hours. 129,000, 54% off. That's really good. And if you take a look at our tractor, here it is. I bought it new, I think, and I've put 17.7 hours on it. So it's got ever so slightly less than the 9S. And it's worth at least £61,000. If we repair it and then sell it directly to the dealership, we should get even more. So I think it's going to be worthwhile replacing it. I wasn't actually going to ever replace it, but it does seem to be a worthwhile upgrade. The other thing is a cultivator. There is a cultivator in the sale, which I'll show you when we get to the store. So as we have experienced before with other things, repainting doesn't necessarily have a benefit in FS25. In 22, you always made a bit of extra profit if you did repaint. But let's just see. I've just saved the game so I can reload if I need to. 68,483 is the current price. 103,133. So yes, I think that was worth it. Except sell for 93. What? Where did that come from? Oh, that is just weird. I don't understand. I think it is, well, it's either break even, isn't it, or a very small profit, or is it not? Okay, so going by that, 68,483 minus 31,500, we would have to sell it for at least 99,983 to break even. And yep, 103 would be making a small extra profit, but it's 93, so no, we'd actually be losing out by doing that. So goodbye, we're not going to repaint it. Okay, and that's why I saved it, because I didn't think that I'd actually be going through with that. Is it even worth repairing it? Yeah, I think that was pretty much exactly the same. It was just basically breaking even on that. No profit extra. Although it went to 62. What is wrong with the store? Oh, I don't know. Okay, well, we've got the money. And we do have this Massey Ferguson tractor just here. So we can actually go for a 425, but that is another £33,500. We do need the EU version. That would be 163. I think we'll stick with the 400. That should be perfectly fine. Yeah, so we will go with that. I do hope that I do not regret this choice of buying this tractor. And as for this one, yeah, we'll just go with design 1. Okay, right, so we have got the cultivator, which I've been needing. I don't really have a preference on which one, I just need a cultivator, and this one is a bit bigger than the one we got rid of, so that's good. Always good to upgrade. But the point is, I have the 9S, and this is something which I just was not expecting at all. I said I was going to get it at some point, but I just didn't really know when, and it was probably going to be like episode 120 or something. I think this does go to show how well we're doing. Kind of sad that we got rid of the 7S, but at the same time, we did need the extra horsepower. And we are still going to be getting a smaller tractor. We're going to probably get something like the Deutz-Fahr or something like that, or even a drop nose Matty Ferguson. But I know that if I do that, there's going to be a serious amount of people saying, oh, you're just getting Matty Ferguson. But don't worry, I will make sure that that does not happen. I just won't try that hard to make sure it doesn't happen. In the previous episode we got a voucher anyway, so you can hardly complain. Yeah, I saw a comment actually, it was a while ago now, but somebody said, you're like the best free advert for Matty Ferguson because you're just obsessed with Matty Ferguson. Yeah, maybe I am. Right, so we're going to get cracking. What we need to do to begin with is we need to head over to the grain mill because we're going to be turning our barley into flour. But we can't afford the grain mill to purchase, but we can rent it. So, let's get this tractor attached to the trailer. We're going to have to do a couple of trips over there. Maybe even 3 actually. Hello Daggerwin. How are you on this fine day? I ask him all the time, but he never responds. Okay, so we'll top this up. We still have 33,000 litres in storage. Very good. The grain mill got hit by a pretty bad tornado in the previous episode. You can see all the trees here have been snapped in half. It was quite something actually. Right, so before we tip, we must make sure that we actually rent this. Everything has been unselected. That's weird. I don't recall doing that. So yes, we need to go on to lease. It is going to be £789 a day, so it's actually less than the sawmill. We can unload into the pit. And yes, we're going to be most likely getting chickens today as well. The chickens will be fed with wheat, not barley, so that is still yet to come. So all of the barley can come to here. Now with that done, we can start the barley flour production. So if we just go on there, click activate, it is storing. Hopefully it's quite quick, I think it is. And yes, we'll be bringing some wheat to here as well, but I'm not too sure how much. So let's get back for trailer load number 2. We also still need to transfer our water buffalo, the babies, to the outdoor pasture because they have been breeding, the older ones, and they're now in the enclosure which I'm really using for milk production. So they need to transfer back, but it means we need to sell the cows first. Oh crikey, how much space do we have? There's still 6,700 litres left in here, so we're going to have to come back for load number 3. Or, yeah, we could just keep it in there until we have more, but that's probably not a good idea. Let's just get it all processed. Yeah, so we'll have to sell the cows. I'm going to have to feed them just to guarantee that we are getting the best price. But that should be a fair chunk of money. And here we go, load number 3. Yeah, the indicators on this tractor, just look at those. Never seen that sort of design on a tractor before. Maybe on an Audi or something like that, but not a tractor. Very fancy. Right, okay, so we're done. That is now processing. Let's get this taken back to the farm, and we need to crack on with the harvest, and then we can bale. Just look at these monster tractors I have. Yeah, I really wasn't expecting this, but I'm pleased that I have done it. I think it was a good idea to get some big tractors because it's always my limitation, horsepower. but not anymore. They do both need to go through the workshop at some point, but they're okay at the moment. Right, so the combine harvest. Oh crikey, we've still got that header on it. Well, that can be returned if I just go on to the vehicle menu just here. I can locate it and I can return it. And the header for this combine is actually behind the sapling, the rice sapling greenhouse. I see one of our neighbours has got a field ready to harvest. We might put a worker onto that after we've done our field, because I can just leave it going. Okay. And if the sell point is the grain mill, then the excess should go straight into storage and we can process it into flour. Okay, so here we go. Make sure it's on swath. It is indeed. Now yes, we are going to get a significant number of bales. As mentioned in the previous episode, we're going to keep the bales in the field until we have produced the silage bales in the grass fields, and then we're just going to get an auto stacker. We're going to clear all the silage bales and all of the straw bales in one go. Nice and fast, and making full use of our rental. As for a new combine, yeah, it's definitely on the wish list, but it's not essential at the moment. Yeah, really the essential wish list is things like land, goats, grapes, so yeah, vineyard. Land is obviously a big one, but we do now have quite a big chunk of land to process over there, so it's not quite as essential at the moment. We're doing well. We are doing very well. And as for those trees over there, because we do need that land quite quickly, I might just fell all the trees and put them in a pile, and then just take them to the sawmill as and when we require them. Then we can clear the entire plot, and then we can do other stuff in that area. Get goats, get a vineyard, that sort of thing. Yep, this series has got a long way to go. And there we have it. That was a very, very fast harvest. So this is our chicken food. We're probably going to keep all of this. There's no point selling it or processing it because we can't afford to run out, because if we have to buy chicken food, it would cost an absolute fortune. It is so expensive. And in fact, I haven't checked in FS25 to see if it's any cheaper. I very much doubt it. But yeah, in 22 and previous versions, chicken food is just crazy, the value. So let's have a look. There, wheat, 1,500 a pallet. Yeah, that's expensive. I think that's the same price as 22. I think it is. Right, so how much is a small chicken coop? Let's have a look. Yes, we need to go into chickens. 4,400. 6,900. It does keep going actually into the 79,000s, and that is the one which we had on Bale. 360 chickens. As opposed to the next one down, which is 20. Goodness me. But does it have a customizable fence, or does it not have a fence? That has a fence. Interesting. Yeah, the trough at just 2,450 with the placeable fence just seems like the best thing to go for. Like, what benefit does the building have? I know the chickens would prefer some shelter, and I would much prefer to give them some shelter, but is it actually worth it? What kind of benefit does it have? Because surely they still produce eggs in this one. I think we're probably going to put it down here, but I'm not quite ready because we need to remove the stumps. But yeah, we've got the food, so we're ready to go with that. Let's do the baling. Let's get this hopefully set off on a workout over here. What field number is that? That's 34. Okay. So if we try and find 34, there's no 34. There is a mod that's come out which allows you to see more contracts, I believe. That's weird. 34 is there, but it's under a baling contract, and it's not even been harvested. That's weird. That's very strange. So, well, I guess the the owner is en route with their combine, and they want us to bale it. But no, that's no good. I'm here now. If they don't want me to do it, I'm not doing it. So this can go back in the yard. That's really annoying though, because it would have been great to just move on and put that on a worker. But the owner obviously knows what they want to do. So I'm going to pop this over here. There we go. We are going to get, well, we'll put the sheet over that. We're going to get this tractor attached to the baler. And I have a massive amount of baling to do. When we come to use other machines, like mowers, I'll probably stick them on the Valtra. Just going to use these tractors in an even split. Don't want to use one more than the other if I can help it. But I know it's a bit of a bad habit of mine. So, oh yes, we're out of netting, aren't we? Better go and get some netting. It's probably a better idea to get the netting with the truck. Annoyingly, the forklift is currently over at the sawmill. Yes, the dealership does need another forklift because the sawmill stole it. So we need round bale netting, standard netting or film binding, Massey Ferguson net wrap, Fendt net wrap, John Deere, class. Okay, well I think probably standard. Oh, actually no, it's a John Deere baler, isn't it? It is a John Deere baler, so it doesn't cost any extra. Hopefully that fits into there, no problem at all. It certainly should do. It's John Deere netting for a John Deere baler. And I think we need this wrap as well. This is the plastic wrap. So nature green. Oh, we'll go with nature green. Right, let's get back to the farm. That should, and I hope, will last a long time. It certainly should do. We've got many boxes there. This is a really good time to guess how many bales we're going to produce. It's actually really hard to guess. I don't know. I really don't know. So that's the netting. I'm hoping the bale wrap works as well. Have I got the right bale wrap or is it the wrong stuff? Oh, there we go. Yep, so that's loading up into there as you can see. And that should last for quite some time. But yeah, how many bales are we going to produce from this field and the other field? Well, I would be inclined to think about 50. Yeah, I think 50. I know we don't need the plastic wrap for this particular crop with straw, but we do need it for the silage. We're going to do silage after this, so yep, it's going to be needed. Yeah, I might be overdoing it with the 50, I'm not too sure. We will see. The baler will fill up much quicker in that field over there. There's much more straw in each swath. Not only because the header was wider, but also because we were using the swather, and you do get a high yield with the swather. So yeah, 5,000 litres per bale. This is going to be interesting. I have reset the bale counter, so that is number 1. We've done 162 in total with this baler. Although, did I buy it new? I don't think I did, no. So it probably already had some registering on there. I thought that might take a while. But yes, we are done. And there are a few bits of straw lying around in the field, but the problem is that most of those are not the right type. Yes, they're the type for the combine harvester, but the combine has missed them. So I can't actually pick them up with this. But look at that. So should we get the grand total? I did say 50. How far away was I? 38. So I was 12 off. That does not surprise me. But still, that is 38 at 5,000 litres each. That is pretty good. So we are going to need this baler again very, very soon. We do need to cut the grass, and we're going to be cutting the grass in that field over there as well. We actually do have an area around the outside of the sunflower field which does need to be done. So that is really the next thing I'm going to target. We are going to be putting the chickens in. I think we're going to get chickens next time. We do need to clear more of the forest. We need to also get a stump grinder and remove the stumps. Or I could just get the lumberjack mod and remove the stumps that way. That is an option. But anyway, yes, for the rest of this episode, we're going to get into the voucher. Hang on. Oh yes. Lots and lots of wood chips. We're just waiting for the wood chips to get to the right price. We, of course, do need to move the cows across as well, but it might be worth just giving them one more month to increase in value a bit more. So yeah, next episode for that as well. There's going to be a lot of shuttling backwards and forwards, getting them sold and getting the water buffalo babies transferred. So yeah, we need to rent the mowers. It's going to be the swathing mowers. We actually do have the horsepower now for those. Whee! Look at that go. I can't really decide if I like the colour of this tractor or not. I'm sort of half inclined to repaint it. Maybe I should do. Maybe we'll do that in a future episode. But for now, we must put our money into things that are absolutely essential, like the mowers that I can't find. Where on earth are they? There they are. Okay, so it's going to be this one. And, of course, the front one to go with it. This one here. So we don't need a windrower this time around. We are actually going to be cutting a fairly significant area. Well, not that significant, but a more significant area than before. So it makes our rental more worthwhile. Okay. There we go. So if we unfold those, I do need to make sure it goes into swath mode, which I think by default it doesn't. Yes, it lifts them up, as you can see. So they need to go back down again. We'll start up the mowers. And yes, for this particular field, I do prefer using GPS. But I always want to go like 85 degrees to the default setting. Just makes a lot more sense to me. Oh, and headland, yeah, forget about the headland, because I go right up to the road, and I know in real life you probably would never do that, not only because of some kind of environmental restriction on the headland boundaries and stuff, but also litter. Litter, we don't want litter. But in this game, everybody is absolutely perfect, and they don't litter. In fact, I'm the worst culprit for that, because I demolish the road signs and I leave them lying in the in the roadside, in the verge. So yeah, for this game to be more realistic, they'd have to add litter and stuff, which is sad. That's really sad. I've never understood it. I honestly have never understood it, why people litter. Yeah, my honest opinion is it is revolting, and those people should be absolutely ashamed of themselves.
Where would I go? Now I know.
Well, that's this field pretty much done. I don't know why the mowers have been hopping. This rear left one especially just hops up into the air and misses a bit. That's really weird. I'm not too sure why that would be. I was thinking it might be hitting just the swath of grass from the front mower and then detecting it as like a really solid object, which is, again, a little bit on the odd side. but I think not out of the question. Or it could just be a bump in the ground. But I don't think it did it before, did it? I don't remember. But there we go, yeah, that is going to be a good field of silage. There is a significant amount of grass there. I think it'll actually be about 26 bales. I think it was 26 before, because that is fully fertilised. But this time we have even more, because we're going to go over to the other field, where the sunflowers are, and we're going to cut all of the excess headland grass as well. It might not come up to too much, it might only be 5 bales, but even 5 extra silage bales, they're worth £2,000 each to buy, and we're definitely not buying them, we're just feeding them. There is something about a field of bales, it just looks good. I don't know why, but I just love the look of it. I was going to do the front mower first, but there we go. Unfold. And I don't actually know exactly where our field boundary is. If we can pull some of their grass into our area, that'd be brilliant. We're going to have to start off back here, though. How much grass do we have here? There is some grass. And it looks like we do own quite a bit of this grass area. It doesn't belong to them. I do suspect, though, that the right-hand mower is actually pulling it from their land and putting it into ours. Yes, I have no idea where the field boundary is here. I know where the map boundary is. It's out at sea. Oh, I don't have the real mower mod installed. I should have installed it. Although, that's actually mowing down pretty well. It would get these shrubs if we had a real mower. And I know there are some stumps around, so I'm going to try my best not to hit them. But there we go. Bit of extra grass for us. Oh, that was supposed to lift. There we go. That's more like it. Now we can do a second swath just here. We'll go right up to the sunflowers. Those sunflowers should be in full flower in August. It should look absolutely amazing. But no, I do need to get real mower so we can actually cut down these more significant weeds at the same time. Although this area might turn into a vineyard. This is probably where it's going to go, but it will likely extend into where the forest is. Or maybe this whole area, maybe this entire field will turn into vineyard. It would look absolutely stunning on the hillside. I think they always look best on a hill. Not too steep, just exactly like this actually. Oh, it would look so good. So yeah, it's obviously going to be quite expensive to construct the vines, the wooden posts and stuff, but it does pay off, especially if you get the great processing building. That's what I did in Bale, and we succeeded. It was again a tough start, and it will be a tough start again for us on this map, but we will succeed, and one day we'll be absolutely raking it in. Yep, they're hopping again. No, I think it is just the uneven terrain. There's little bumps in the field and it's making the mowers jump up. We'll just get that piece over there and then we are done. In the next episode we'll get all of this grass baled up and we'll get the bales brought back to our shed with the auto stacker. We'll clear the straw bales as well. I'm possibly going to sell the straw bales, but the problem is the price is really bad at this time of the year. So yeah, we might be better off just leaving it until December, selling the bales. And there we go. Right, so I will get these returned between this episode and the next one. I don't think I own that bank just there. I will check. So we've got to go to farmland. We do own up to about here. Yeah, so I could go down there. Obviously want to make as much money as possible here, or at least make full use of the mower to make as much food as possible. Yep. That's good. Just let the car go past, and then probably go back up again, and that should be our full width. Indeed. Okay. So, wow, this is a really powerful tractor, and it still seems to be struggling a bit. I know it's very steep. I think actually with the engine configuration we currently have, the Massey Ferguson is probably more powerful, so as it turns out I probably should have done the baling with this tractor and the mowing with the Massey Ferguson, but there you go. Right, we're done. I will see you very soon in the next episode. If you haven't done so already, please do remember to like and subscribe, and until the next episode, see you again very soon. Bye for now.